And hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us here this evening. I'm Doug Prophet. On this Friday, as Veterans Day is observed today and tomorrow, we say thank you to all of our veterans right here at home in Kentuckiana. And tomorrow, as you just heard, with spectacular weather, Louisville will once again host a Veterans Day parade in downtown Louisville. Military parades in our city really date back to the Spanish-American War down Jefferson Street. WHAS11's Ian Hardwitt tonight introduces us to the woman who's going to be the Grand Marshal tomorrow, a Vietnam veteran.
It actually is a music box, and it plays Wind Beneath My Wings.
Marge Graves pulls out some cherished items like this replica of the Vietnam Women Memorial, or a picture her mother had taken just before she went overseas.
That was the uniform I wore when I came back from Vietnam.
They remind her of some horrible times, but she's still proud.
You know, I went through a very difficult time based on some PTSD that I had from Vietnam. I said I was involved in as a body identifier for a 34-soldier crash.
She didn't talk about it for a while, but now opens up about the experience to help others deal with their trauma. As a lifelong nurse, she's well practiced with care.
You know, for the first time, we have a female veteran that's going to be the Grand Marshal, and I mean, that's so much respect for what we've done in the military, and I just think it's awesome.
The parade starts here at 7th and Jefferson Streets, just outside the Judicial Center. Then it's gonna run east to here, 3rd and Jefferson, just outside the Convention Center, where part of the parade will split off and stop here so people can do a meet and greet with the veterans. With the parade just ahead, Graves leaves her mark on local history as she reflects on her own. In Louisville, Ian Hardwitt, WHAS11, on your side.
And the man behind the restoration of the Veterans Day Parade is Thunder Over Louisville producer Wayne Hettinger. He's going to join me live right here in our studio coming up tonight at 5:30.
We're so gallantly streaming.
Louisville's MSD hosting this ceremony in honor of the National Observation and Holiday today. MSD honoring 99 of its employees who have served or are still serving in the U.S. Armed Forces.
All over America, all over the world, when you all swore that oath, you swore an oath to put your country first. That's why we as a city and as a country owe each of you and all of your colleagues who are veterans a great debt of gratitude that goes beyond anything we can repay.
Fair play.
Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg went on to say that Louisville needs more great veterans who, after serving their country, continue to serve our community in roles at MSD or any other metro department and public service. As we celebrate those who serve, St. Vincent de Paul in Louisville is working to take care of the most vulnerable, homeless veterans, many of whom are on the streets of Louisville and Jefferson County. Today, they added 24 new apartments for veterans who are at risk. The single-room apartments are expected to be finished by the end of the year. Sam Schreier is the manager of the men's shelter and a veteran, so he understands the struggle of coming back home.
I'd say it's extremely critical. It's it's this or the streets quite often. So if they don't get a bed here, then they're working through the coordinated shelter access point with the Coalition for the Homeless, and you call in and they either have a bed for you or they don't.
The apartments come with wraparound services like laundry, food, and career support. St. Vincent de Paul is taking applications and accepts housing vouchers, as well as veterans who are low income and cannot pay their rent. More local news here tonight at 5. The Bullitt County Sheriff's Department tells us they're investigating after a body was discovered on the side of the road in Bullitt County. Sheriff Walt Scholar tells us that they got the call around 7:15 last night, and they found the body here on Kentucky Route 1020 in between Brooks Hill Road and Brooks Station Drive. Officers on the scene say the body is a white female who seems to have died from some kind of injuries. Deputies worked throughout the night investigating the scene, and a homicide investigation is underway. The leader of Jefferson County Public Schools, Dr. Marty Polio, won't be front and center for a while. He is recovering now from emergency back surgery. Dr. Polio releasing a statement through JCPS today saying, quote, "There may be a temporary decrease in my visibility, My doctors tell me I need to focus on rehabilitation to ensure a complete and swift recovery so I can continue to serve our district with the dedication it deserves. Polio says he's going to stay in constant contact with his leadership team, and he's confident the district's in good hands with his absence as he recovers from emergency back surgery. Right now, parts of eastern Kentucky are under a state of emergency as wildfires continue to burn in that region around the Daniel Boone National Forest. The last update from the Kentucky Department of Forestry and Crews says they're working 31 fires in 9 counties. Those counties are Bell, Breathitt, Floyd, Harlan, Knott, Letcher, Martin, Owsley, and Pike. Hundreds of fire personnel are already on the ground. Some of them came from out west, and the out-of-state crews are helping our local crews. Governor Andy Beshear says he declared the state of emergency to protect people from price gouging. According to emergency management, the drought and windy conditions in eastern Kentucky have increased the threat of wildfires across the state, and there's potential for more. Right now, 16 counties across the Commonwealth are under a burn ban. Here locally in the Louisville metro area, that includes Bullitt and Nelson County, and that means no open burning of leaves, campfires, or pit cooking when a burn ban is underway. You just heard Colleen at the top of the 5 o'clock news say, really, we're not going to have rain for quite a while as we are watching an amazing sunset. So we've got crisp skies, Colleen, low humidity. We have had wildfires in the Fort Knox region before, coming so close to this area. So we all have to be very concerned about it because it can actually get close to the Metro Louisville line.
Yeah, and we are watching that forecast. Thankfully, we have that northwest wind, so there's not really a chance that it heads off to the west. If anything, it will continue to head off farther to the east. Talking about drought conditions, a big reason why they are dealing with wildfires, a level 2 drought off into eastern Kentucky. Here, we actually got a little bit better. We've had some rain over this past week, downgraded to a level 1. So looking at eastern Kentucky, talking about those wildfires real quick, wind matters a lot. It was pretty windy earlier this week. Thankfully, as we head towards the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, wind conditions are expected to be pretty low for eastern Kentucky, so hopefully it gets better before worse. Right now, we are seeing some sunshine, beautiful sunset here. 62 degrees we're sitting at the airport, 60 in Bowman. Low humidity is in that forecast. So throughout your evening stroll, it's a really nice Friday night, starting out the weekend on some nice comfortable temperatures in the mid-50s. Now, overnight tonight, we will be falling quickly. So tomorrow morning for the tailgate, if you're heading out to the Kentucky home game, it will be in the 40s, low of a 38 here in Louisville, right around 7 o'clock. Halftime will be in the low 50s, and into the afternoon, staying in the 50s. We have milder temperatures next week. That high pressure is really going to swing some warmer temperatures here to Kentucky, and I will talk about what you can expect for next week and when that next chance of rain is here coming up shortly. Doug.
Okay, warmer temperatures coming back. Thank you, Colleen. Some of the top stories, continuing coverage we're keeping an eye on. Federal court, by the way, is closed for Veterans Day, observance of Veterans Day, but there's plenty of conversation still underway about the Brett Hankison trial. The former LMPD detective is facing federal charges for violating the civil rights of Briana Taylor, her boyfriend, and her next-door neighbors during the night of the shooting in March of 2020. Yesterday, the jury heard from Hankison himself. Next week will be big for the trial as it heads toward the end. Today, WHAS11's Alexis Jones, who is covering this trial, talked to the U of L law professor who has been following the Briana Taylor case closely since her death and then the protests of 2020.
As witness testimony comes to an end and the jury prepares to deliberate next week, many of us are left wondering, where will Brett Hankison's fate stand? According to U of L law professor Sam Markison, it depends on a number of factors. Markison says typically it's hard to convict police officers in federal court. However, he believes the prosecution is in a better position than they were during the state trial when Hankison was acquitted, mainly because the jury has seen a break in the blue wall of silence.
In this trial, you've had several police officers testify about Hankison's shooting, about his not following procedures and training, and that's been a remarkable and certainly noteworthy development in the case.
Markison also says several testimonies didn't go the way the defense had planned, including witness Aaron Sapie saying he didn't hear officers introduce themselves at Briana Taylor's door, and former LMPD Sergeant John Mattingly saying he saw Taylor's boyfriend holding a handgun, not a rifle. despite the defense saying otherwise. As for Hankerson admitting to not thinking of police protocols at the time of the shooting, Markison says both sides can use it to their advantage.
To sort of get the jury to see the point they're trying to make.
But ultimately, he says, the decision could be impacted by the jury's beliefs or makeup. 10 men, 6 women, all but one are white.
We hope, of course, that they will do what they have sworn they will do, which is to apply the law as the judge explains it to them, and that they will consider only the facts.
And if found guilty, Markison says, that doesn't mean Hankerson will receive the maximum sentence, life in prison. He says the judge will most likely be reasonable, while sending a message that police aren't above the law. In Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS11 on your side.
Brett Hankerson is set to finish his testimony again on Monday. Then attorneys will begin their closing arguments here in downtown Louisville. New developments this afternoon. A former member of the Indiana House of Representatives has pleaded guilty to a federal corruption charge. Sean Eberhardt is guilty of conspiring with others to receive a future job with a gaming company in exchange for his legislative support. Eberhardt, who was the elected representative for Indiana House District 57, which includes Shelby County, Indiana, Bartholomew, and Hancock counties. According to the Department of Justice, in late 2018, Eberhardt helped pass a bill to move 2 Spectacle casinos in exchange for future employment. The charges carry a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison. A rival